I'm not going to talk in front of her. Karen?
A romantic telenovela about two women and a man. The story about a woman, Elena.
Elena will be the one in charge.
A young, beautiful woman, a ghost.
Our family has inherited a curse. Everyone dies tragically. You've seen it for yourself.
And a version of her.
I am your wife and I demand respect.
I am in love with Elena, and I will do anything so that I do not lose her. Are we clear?
Then enters Eduardo the Hunk.
With you, and I'm not allowing anything bad to happen.
And the two are in a match made in love. Or will it be?
I'm your wife, Elena, and I've returned to stay for good.
He's also my husband.
No, the marriage between you two is invalid and you know it.
I'm gonna make your life a living hell, Elena.
The twist on turns of a love triangle coupled with a mythological family embroiled in secrecy. Untold makes the castle a home, spinning in a wave of mystery and a chance until we discover the secrecy behind Elena's ghost.
Well, a very good evening to you, and thank you so much for creating time to join us as we bring you up to speed on the latest happenings that have taken place throughout the week. We'll be certainly doing so in a comprehensive manner on matters within the country as well as beyond our borders. I am Rose Gukwe, and our sign language interpreter is Steve Dunde. Well, before we can bring you the day's highlights or the day's bulletin, let's take a look at the day's highlights. President Kenyatta reaches out to the world's richest nations to support the protection of oceans and seas. Changing political metrics as a section of coast political leaders warm up to Deputy President William Ruto. Unanswered questions as Moi Girls School reopens after 1 week closure. And we highlight the story of desperation for residents of Mwakirunge. Welcome to the program, and of course, being a Sunday, that means we have our weekly segment, and this is Family Matters, where John Jacob Curia will be joined by 4 experts. And tonight, our focus is on widows. And of course, remember, we celebrate the International Widows Day on the 23rd of June. That's just a couple of days away. And so tonight in this segment, we focus exactly on the plight of widows. Of course, some have been subjected into so many violations of their rights, and that is what we focus on tonight. Could you probably be going through such a situation? Kindly do interact with us, and we'll be certain to be featuring some of your concerns in the segment. You can do so via 22162, which is our SMS number right on your screens, 22162. Kindly do text us or get us on our social media platforms. On Twitter, it's at KBC Channel 1. Tweet me directly at Rose_Gukwe. Well, Facebook, it's KBC Channel 1. The program begins now. President Uhuru Kenyatta has reached out to the world's richest nations to support the protection of oceans and seas. While addressing the G7 Summit outreach segment in Charlevoix in Quebec, President Kenyatta said the protection of marine life is a shared responsibility. The head of state at the same time marshaled support for this year's inaugural Ocean Summit set for Kenya in November.
The G7 Summit held in Quebec, Canada was convened under the theme Healthy, Productive and Resilient Oceans and Seas, Coasts and Communities. The summit brings together the world's most industrialized nations, among them Canada, United States of America, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy and Japan. President Kenyatta using the platform to push for a shared responsibility in the protection of oceans and seas. In his speech, the president asked the G7 nations to partner with Kenya in hosting the inaugural Ocean Summit set for Kenya in November this year. President Kenyatta highlighting steps taken by Kenya in protecting marine life, as well as challenges, citing plastic pollution and illegal fishing as greatest hindrances to achieving a sustainable marine life. Canada has already committed to co-sponsor the Ocean Summit scheduled for November this year. President Kenyatta is meanwhile expected to hold a number of other bilateral meetings as he drums up support for the Big Four agenda. The G7 summit was held amid rising tensions over the U.S. recent tariffs on steel and aluminium.
We want and expect other nations to provide fair market access to American exports, and that we will take whatever steps are necessary to protect American industry and workers from unfair foreign trading practices.
It appears the tensions may not be dying anytime soon, with President Donald Trump having turned his back on a G7 joint statement, vowing to fight back against protectionism and pledging to follow established trade rules. For Channel 1 News, I am Edward Kabaza.
Deputy President William Ruto says the government will in the next 3 months issue title deeds to Kisauni constituency residents. Ruto said the move was aimed at addressing the historical land ownership challenges facing the coastal region.
Deputy President William Ruto took the government development tour to the coastal region Sunday. Ruto was in Majaoni grounds, Kisauni constituency in Mombasa County, and the thorny issue affecting the area residents, land ownership, came to the fore.
Tumeamua hii mambo sijui historical injustices, sijui nini, hii imetumiwa na vizazi vilivyopita. We want to have solutions and permanent solutions to our problems.
Ukitenda hili la ardhi pwani, wewe ni rafiki, tutakulipa 2022.
Ruto promising the residents that in 3 months the government will issue them with title deeds.
Na ndani ya siku 90, 90 days, nitarudi hapa na titles zenu.
He called for unity among leaders in spite of their political inclination for the sake of the Kenyan electorate.
Hawa wananchi ni werevu, watajua ni kina nani wa kufanya kazi, ni kina nani wa kupiga porojo. Ama nyinyi mtashindwa kuamua ni kina nani wanapiga story.
The Deputy President had on Saturday evening attended Iftar dinner and a fundraiser for Malindi Education Development Association Foundation in Kilifi County. Leaders present expressing their support for Ruto's 2022 presidential ambition.
Nyinyi mbali na hiyo kazi yote, si mungesema hata kwa huruma ya huyu mungwana amehangaika hapa, wacha tumpatie hata MCA mmoja. Mukanikaranga nikaenda tu. Mheshimiwa William Ruto, makamu wetu wa nchi hii, karibu hivi leo, karibu kesho kutwa, naendelea kuja kile.
Ninaomba safari ya 2022 tusije tukafata porojo, tusimame na yeye katika urais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
The endorsement coming as Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi also affirmed his name will be on the ballot come the next general election. Mudavadi at the same time maintaining that NASA was still intact.
I have indicated before that I am God willing and I am alive and strong. I have every right as a Kenyan citizen to put myself before the Kenyan people in 2022.
2022 was also the topic of discussion at a fundraiser in Limuru, Kiambu County, where KANU Party coordinator George Wainaina hinted that they will field a presidential candidate.
Kama kuna kitu inatakiwa kulipwa watu ni sisi watu ya KANU. Sisi ndio tulipeana hii jukumu na hii kiti ambayo iko na Rais Kenyatta.
Elsewhere, the nullification of Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua's election by the Court of Appeal on Friday continues to draw divided opinion. And Charles Cameron will now be the Jubilee flag bearer in the Baringo South parliamentary by-election slated for August. Cameron floored 3 aspirants to emerge the winner in the primaries.
Yes. And I want to appeal to all members of Baringo South that during the coming elections, by-elections on 17, please consider my candidature.
Chaos had marred the resort starting Saturday, leading to the postponement of the official announcement of results to Sunday. The seat was left vacant in April following the death of Grace Kipchoim. Samson Kitavi, Channel 1
And divided opinion continues to greet the ongoing war on corruption amid reports that more suspects could soon have their day in court as the government seeks to recover proceeds of graft. The country has witnessed renewed intensity against corruption since President Kenyatta declared a fully fledged fight on the vice.
It's been a season to forget for 43 suspects in the National Youth Service graft case who've had to spend time in remand after the court declined to release them on bail. And amid claims that the prosecutions are aimed at achieving certain political ends, a section of politicians have hailed the court's decision, terming it a step in the right direction.
The minute corruption is being addressed, they start pointing fingers at other people. Pesa ya umma tupatie DCI, Director of Criminal Investigations, achunguze huyo mtu, aulize huyo mtu unalipangwa pesa ngapi. Kuna tajiri fulani amekufa ameachia wewe pesa? Hapana. Na hii pesa tunaona kwa akaunti yako imetoka wapi?
This even as a section of the political class called on the media to prioritize development matters. Narok Governor Samuel Olatunai calling for support of ongoing efforts to rid the country of the ghost of corruption.
Naunga kabisa vita dhidi ya ufisadi ambao ulianzishwa na rais yetu Uhuru Kenyatta. Mshirikiane wote, saidiane, because tunataka ile pesa ya umma itumike vizuri, ifanyie wananchi kazi, isiwe diverted kufanya kazi nyingine.
This, as a Hadi Kenya Trust Director, Dr. Stanley Kamau, recommended a 1-month amnesty for corruption suspects, with those who returned back looted money within the duration pardoned.
Students of Moi Girls School in Nairobi reported back to school on Sunday after it was closed after a week amid security concerns. Parents and guardians are scheduled to hold a meeting with the Ministry of Education and the Teachers Service Commission tomorrow on the state of affairs at the school.
Heavy traffic characterized Kang'ethe Road where Moi Girls High School, Nairobi is situated. The school reopened at 8 a.m. Sunday after its gates were closed a week ago following a rape incident. But even as the gates reopened, concerns over the security of students remained rife.
Ati kuna mapolisi wameko huku. Hao mapolisi wakuja wakae kibiti tena waende. Unajua hata hiyo siku nyingine tutakanya tu hivyo. Wakasema kuna security tight. Hiyo wakakuja wakamaliza wiki mbili wakaenda. Sasa hivi tunaambia tu kuna mapolisi watakuwa na wanaangalia watoto sijui nini. Sasa tujue kutaenda aje. Na fence weko ya nini ya mawe.
For this particular parent, there are still glaring gaps that could expose the children to harm.
As I was bringing my daughter, I wanted to go around the school to check on the security and the walls and the places that they had said they had been looked at. Unfortunately, I came and saw this. What you are seeing here, somebody can get in.
This student, who did not wish to speak on camera, says she's still nervous about going back to school. Her schoolmate, however, holds a different view.
I'm happy to be back in school, even though stuff has happened and all that. You just have to pray and trust in God.
Various measures have been taken to win the confidence of the general public and especially parents and students.
We had a meeting with the people from the ministry and TSC. We hope for the best. We also met as parents Yeah, we love the school. We want the best for our girls.
We have trust in the school, and that's why we are coming to leave our kids here. So any other maybe dissenting voices, anybody would be entitled to their concern. But for me, I trust that the security concerns at school at now, it is okay, and we are praying that it will continue improving when all of us work together as a team, all the stakeholders coming together, be able to improve day after day.
Last week, Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed appointed a 9-member interim board to manage Moi Girls School, even after former head teacher sought early retirement amid reports that the school has overhauled the students' leadership. All informal business structures around the school are also demolished. Tomorrow, parents will hold a meeting with the Ministry of Education and the Teachers Service Commission on the state of affairs at the school. There will also be a guidance and counseling session for students later in the afternoon, with learning expected to resume on Tuesday. Caroline Kamar reporting for Channel 1 Weekend.
Well, many thanks right there to Caroline Kamar for that report. We take a very fast break right now. But remember, being a Sunday, that means we have our weekly segment. This is Family Matters. And tonight we are focusing on the plight of widows. And remember, it's only a few days before the world can mark the International Widows Day, which was a day launched by the United Nations in a bid to create awareness on the violation of human rights of very many women across the world who suffer this kind of mistreatment after they have lost their spouses. So even as we gear towards this interview, do you have any concerns? Are you going through similar, a similar situation? Kindly do leave that message with us. We'll be certain to have that highlighted in this topic with John Jacob Curia. Leave this message on our SMS line 22162. Let's take that break now.
This week on KBC Channel 1.
From a philosophical point of view, a good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate pen or tongue, then you have something very special.
I'm desperate here. Dulce's in prison, the police are after me, and I have nowhere to hide now.
I don't know what I can do for you.
What do you mean you don't know what you can do for me? You've got connections with the mafia.
You think you know me so well, is that right?
Why don't you come and join me in my IT firm? I'm looking for an IT assistant, an office assistant actually.
I'm sure if I call him myself, he'll create time.
No, don't bother. I'll tell him and then you.
Everybody, Guanta!
Welcome back and many thanks for keeping us company. Please, let's proceed. They say that everyone becomes a creation of the environment, a saying that rings true for the residents of Mwakirunge, who are decrying the continued degradation of their ecosystem after the Mombasa County government channeled waste from Kibarani dump site in Changamwe to the nearby dump site. Our Mombasa-based reporter Juni Karisa was in the area and chronicled the narrative of the local community who are now staring at a possible environmental disaster with tons of garbage deposited at their doorstep each passing day.
It is sunset in Mwakirunge Kisauni constituency. Images of herdsmen leading their livestock back to their homes, playful pupils making their journeys back to their respective homes, and women balancing water jerrycans on their heads as they call it a day, only acting to conceal a serious problem, the eyesore that is Mwakirunge dam site. the dam site acting as a magnet for hundreds of slum dwellers who frequent the facility to scavenge from the tons of garbage. With the county government of Mombasa having ordered the closure of the Kibarani Dam site in Changamwe, Mwakirunge has witnessed increased traffic, with about 35 garbage trucks dumping their cargo at the facility on a daily basis. For the 3 hours we pitched camp, 10 trucks had offloaded their garbage, with each truck attracting scavengers. Mama Vicky and Manzi Chulo lead their peers in the scavenging business. Theirs is a daily routine to the dam site every 4 p.m, leaving home under the pretense of fetching water at a nearby borehole, not to attract the attention of their husbands.
Watoto wetu hawasomi, wamekuwa ni wenye kuchokora takataka na kutafuta scrap kwenda kuuza, kupima kwa ajili ya kutafuta fedha. Wazazi wetu, hasa mabibi zetu wengineo, wamekuwa hawatulii majumbani. Kazi yao ni kuja na kuchokora takataka huko na kutafuta lishe lao. Unaona, mkate wa siku wao unatoka mahali hapo. Sasa ni mahali pametuletea shida kubwa katika familia zetu.
Theirs is a story that resonates across the entire slum, with hundreds of its inhabitants relying on the dam site for their daily needs.
Hasa mkiondoa sisi tutafanyaje? Tutaleana nini hao watoto? Tafadhali timbo ikuwe hapa, isiondolewe. Manake zitakataka ndo ambao tumetegemea. Tunalisha watoto, tunasomesha watoto. Mtoto akuwa mgonjwa, haya ni hapa. Kwa hivyo hii timbo ikae hapa.
Ambia nitapata kama maybe 75 ama 150
of Mwakirunge, theirs are lamentations, claims that the dam site has brought them untold suffering.
Yule mwanamke ambaye amefiliwa na bwana, maana gavana wetu hatujali sisi watu wa Mwakirunge, bali anajali kura zetu ndizo zinamfaidisha yeye ili apate kuendelea na maendeleo yake kule.
Rainy seasons are the most dreaded.
Mvua kama wakati huu na wakati wa jua, huwa kuna maradhi mengi sana ambayo yanatokea. Especially mvua ikinyesha, kuna takataka zinamwagwa barabarani, gari huwa ni shida kupita, pikipiki azezi kupishana pamoja na magari, kuna accident huwa zinatokezea. Na pia kuna mabuu. Huwa mabu pia wanatapakaa pia barabarani. Kuna watoto wetu ambao wanaenda skuli pia huwa ni dhiki sana, wengine wavai champali huwa wanapata maradhi tofauti. Especially mvua kwanza huwa kuna kipindupindu kinatokezea, kolera, malaria pia hapo pia huwa inatokezea, na pia hapa pia kuna hizi ulcers, hizi asthmas kwa wingi sana huwa pia huwa zinatokea.
Last month alone, area residents claimed 3 people were raped and sodomized as they scavenged for waste.
Hapa wanadanganywa na kitu kidogo kama mkate, kwa sababu wanaume wana ile power ya kuingia kwenye magari na kupata ile chakula. Kwa hivyo wanadanganywa sana, laitwa akienda tu kichochoroni kidogo, ndio hapo mwanamke anabakwa, anaingizwa kwenye nyumba, anabakwa kilazima, baadaye tena huyo mtu anatoweka na haonekani tena. Ni vigumu sana kutoa hili janga, lakini kitu ambacho tunaomba ya kwamba waangalie hali hapa vile ambavyo iko.
Kibarani Dam site in Changamwe is no different. Sitting right at the doorstep of Mombasa County, it accumulates the biggest waste from the mainland. Amid heightened criticism, Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho will issue a directive to close the dam site in April this year within 70 days, with the county administration channeling west to the Mwakirunge dam site.
30 plus 10 extra days. Those are 70 days I'm giving you. You must close Kibarani. Iwe njia tu ya kupita hapa, watu wakenda airport, and you tell me, create the alternatives. You have the trucks, you want more trucks, we will give you. You want more equipment, we will give you. Go to the households, collect takataka, peleka mahali ambapo panastahili, but it will not be Kibarani anymore. Tumekubaliana?
That place has received waste for about 50 years. And so we have to in our terms what we call remediation. We have to do remediation of the area because the soils are contaminated and we have to find a way of making sure that we reduce the contamination levels in the soils at Kibarani and also in the water bodies that are around Kibarani.
The directive infuriated the locals while attracting disapproval from the Kenya Aviation Authority.
Since we are told that Makirunge is on the flight path, and you will realize that the whole county actually is on some flight path somehow, we want to convert it into a controlled dump. Now, a controlled dump will be done in such a way that the waste is not open to attract the Indian house crows and other vultures. And so the aviation authority need not to worry, because we want to adopt a management system that does not expose the waste.
If the County Assembly of Mombasa approves this year's budget to revamp this particular dam site, then the funds will be used to erect a perimeter wall as well as a tarmac this particular road.
Establish a good gate for that place, a way bridge, so that whatever activities we do there will be controlled. That's what we want to do. And then later we will convert that place into a sanitary landfill, and that's the most sustainable, the most hygienic way of managing our waste.
Mombasa County produces 2,200 tons of waste each day, with the county administration on the receiving end for alleged failure to find sustainable mechanism to dispose the waste.
So we are already in the process of identifying large-scale recyclers that then can be able to consume all our waste. And we have received quite impressive number of proposals. We are digesting them so that we see which is likely to work and which is not likely to work. And once that is done, then we will begin the process of engaging them, identifying them and engaging them and entering into contracts with them to do that job.
Beginning next month, once tons of waste begin to accumulate at this particular dam site, the move will be seen as an investment and a loss for most residents of Makirunge in Kisauni constituency. Reporting from Mombasa County, I'm Juni Karisa.
Thank you, June Carissa, for our report. The pact between the Kenyan government and Cuba to bring in 100 medical specialists continue to attract opposition from Kenyan medics just days before they are deployed to the counties. Medical practitioners in the country argue that the government should have prioritized building capacity for local doctors instead of bringing in foreign doctors.
It was a graduation ceremony for some 20 senior doctors drawn from various counties who successfully completed a 3-month course dubbed ECHO for Life at the Heart Center, Nairobi.
Echocardiography is probably the only non-invasive test today available for us to make a diagnosis of heart failure. And heart failure kills many people in this country. So without echo, we cannot be able to make that diagnosis. So,
and with 100 Cuban doctors already in the country ahead of their deployment in 2 weeks' time, questions over why the government opted to bring in foreign doctors abound. The medical professionals saying the Kenyan doctors are recognized across the globe, and as such, the government should have prioritized enhancing the capacity of local doctors.
You should have gathered us and said there's a specially Cuban doctor who knows how to train people in this and this area. Then he comes and we start a training institution. If there is anything that Cuba is better than us, because when they say a Cuban doctor is coming to do malaria, we have more than 50 excellently trained specialists in malaria in the country. They are better than the Cuban doctor. In fact, other countries are hiring malaria specialists from Kenya.
The last batch of Cuban doctors jetted into the country on Thursday after the arrival of 50 of their counterparts on Wednesday, marking the culmination of a deal signed between the two governments that would see some 100 Cuban specialist medics deployed to Kenya to work in various county hospitals. The government argues that the decision to hire the foreign doctors was necessitated by a deficiency in the number of specialists in the country to ensure the realization of universal health care. Meanwhile, the Migori County government has allocated 2.7 billion shillings to the health sector, making it the biggest beneficiary during the 2018-2019 financial budget. Migori County Assembly Budget Committee Chair Abedi Maroa says the administration set aside the amount following various adjustments that are ongoing in the health sector.
Kenya Broadcasting Corporation's premier the Luo radio station Mayenga FM wound up its two-day Meet the Fans tour of Kisumu and Siaya counties with a mega roadshow. Here are the details. Day 2 of the Mayenga FM roadshow in Kisumu and Siaya counties, and fans of the station at the Lakeside region were in for a mega treat. The caravan snaking through Kisumu, Busia Road from Akala area before making stops in Kisiani, Luanda, Yala, Kodiaga, Sidindi, Rangala, Ukwala, then Ugunja Market. At every stop, a dose of entertainment and that golden opportunity of mingling with your favorite presenters.
Imekuwa radio station ile iko karibu na wananchi, inatupatia maarifa mingi kwa vijana, iko na mafundisho bora. At least in the morning watu wana appreciate vile Amimo ukonduct section zake, huwa inasaidia all purpose, parents, youth na wazee.
Today at least we had an opportunity where they meet us, they see us face to face, and we had a chance to listen to them.
The Mayenga FM crew promising to sustain the quality programming that is synonymous with the station. In Mombasa County, presenters from Pwani FM, yet another radio station under the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation stable, joined Muslims for iftar. The crew, in partnership with Tandaza Foundation, presented the worshippers with snacks and food as part of the station's corporate social responsibility. Pwani FM manager Max Mila Waluhu said the gesture was to celebrate their Muslim fans who are in the last leg of Ramadan.
Tumeweza kuandalia wasikilizaji wetu iftar ili tuweze kujumuika pamoja nasi katika mwezi huu mtukufu wa Ramadhani, kwa sababu tunawathamini na vile vile ni siku 10 za kupatiana. Ndio maana Pwani FM iliona bora zaidi iweze kunyosha mkono wao wakati huu wa Ramadhan kwa kuandalia iftar.
Residents of a village in Murang'a County are staring at an uncertain future after they were ordered to vacate their area. About 147 families from Kyandarua village will not have to find alternative homes after mysterious cracks developed in their farms following heavy rains pounding the region.
A week after Kyandarua village in Mathioya constituency witnessed a mysterious phenomenon that saw giant cracks cut across farms and houses, the government has now moved in to assess the situation. Led by Murang'a County Commissioner John Elungata, geologists, officials from the Meteorological Department, Kenya Red Cross Society and local leaders toured the area, recommending the immediate evacuation of the inhabitants. Geologist James Kimani saying the region is not safe for habitation with underground water causing mass movement of the soils.
Since we are expecting rain very soon, the area, those cracks will have not sealed, so the area is not habitable for now until we have a very long dry spell, so that those cracks maybe they can heal.
Mathioya MP Peter Kimari urging those who have not evacuated to do so to avert a disaster.
We also had an area called Kahwai in Getuge, which was where we had another almost 30 families affected, and we had to do quick construction using emergency funds, CDF, at one of our polytechnics, where we Motito Polytechnic, where we moved the families to stay as we wait for the rains to subside.
Former Devolution Principal Secretary Irungu Nyakira, who was among those who toured the area, calling on the national and county assemblies to set aside kitties to cater for such occurrences.
Within the county governments, they are doing their budgeting to put in place a kitty to take care of such challenges, not just for the short-term purposes, but also to as we look at the long-term and coming up with a very sustainable solution.
According to the Kenya Red Cross Society, Mount Kenya Regional Manager Kitonga Mugambi, over 147 homes have been severely damaged, with 500 residents rendered homeless.
Ya kwamba ni watu wangapi wameathiriwa na hii mkasa, especially shelter, mambo ya manyumba.
The situation appears grave for the residents, with the weatherman predicting that the region will continue receiving rains over the next few days.
A family in Nairobi is appealing for financial assistance for their daughter who requires specialized treatment for a rare condition that is affecting her mobility. Marin Okudo has a giant cell tumor of the bone on her right leg and requires at least 4 million shillings for treatment. Meet 26-year-old Marin Okudo. Beneath this glowing appearance is pain and worry. It's a state Marin has had to contend with for the last 8 months after she developed difficulty in walking. The doctor's diagnosis was unexpected.
Alipata the cells are multiplying. They are bigger. The cells are shell, I don't know, egg-like. They are bigger, some white things. So he took the samples to for biopsy test, and then when the results came, he told me it's giant tumor cell, that I need to look for around 3 million for me to go to India.
A giant cell tumor of the bone is a type of non-cancerous tumor that grows at the end of the body's long bones. Most often, the tumors develop at the lower end of the thigh bone or upper end of the shin bone, close to the knee joint. Giant cell tumors typically occur in young adults and are slightly more common in females. Marin, a student at Kenyatta University, dreams of one day working as a community health provider.
I really want to go back to school, be able to move and just give love where it's due and spread happiness. It's been so many months, 8 months of us crying and feeling like I'm not important.
It requires at least 4 million shillings to begin specialized treatment abroad.
Naomba tu Wakenya wanisaidie niweze kufikisha hii pesa niende, hata kama tutakuwa tumeanza ifike kidogo wenye tunaweza lipata down payment ya hospitali niende. Juu the more nakaa hapa the more mguu wangu unaendelea kuharibika na sasa sielewi ni nini inaendelea. Mimi kitu naomba tu ni nipate chance ya kurudi kwa maisha yangu. Hivyo tu.
Donations can be sent through M-Pesa paybill number 462988. Account name Marin Okudo, or sent to Philip Obare through phone number 0722429718. And we wish Marin Okudo quick recovery. Drama unfolded in Majengo Estate in Embu-town after residents woke up to the sight of a middle-aged man atop a telecommunication mast in what is suspected to have been a suicide mission. Elsewhere, a row over the management of the second mega tattoo city is threatening to interrupt ongoing construction plans. Details of these and other highlights in the County News Roundup.
It is arguably one of the country's most progressive concepts in recent times, but the multi-billion shillings Tattoo City project appears to have stumbled on turbulence after a group of families from Githunguri in Kiambu County laid claim to the land. About 14,000 people claim to have contributed to the project, with Kiambu Member of Parliament Jude Njomo calling for more transparency.
Mimi nataka kuahidi wale ambao wanalalamika, kila mtu lazima atapata haki yake. Lakini hatuwezi kuwa sisi tutakuwa slaves kwa miaka nenda miaka rudi.
And authorities in Tana River County have intensified surveillance efforts following an outbreak in Madogo area. One person has been confirmed dead, with 40 out of 88 persons who were admitted having been discharged from the hospital. In Machakos County, schools drawn from Yatta constituency in conjunction with African Fund for Endangered Wildlife conducted a cleanup exercise in Matu town in a bid to educate the residents on personal hygiene. The initiative comes just 3 days after a cholera outbreak was reported in the area that left 1 dead and 12 others hospitalized. Meanwhile, stakeholders in the oil industry want the government to enhance its disaster response in oil drilling sectors as per international laws. The calls coming just days after the transportation of crude oil from Turkana to Mombasa under the early oil pilot scheme commenced.
We have talked with NEMA. For instance, there is some areas which is waste management in Dokcha, which they don't have actually the policy as a seat for Taro to engage companies in what we call cut waste, which is a waste from oil itself.
Elsewhere, Tharaka-Nithi County has received 2 fire engines and 6 ambulances from United Kingdom's Bedfordshire Fire Department. The new development is expected to boost the county's capacity to deal with disasters. Governor Muthomi Njuki says the development will go a long way in handling emergencies.
Tutapeleka fire engine moja moja itaenda Tharaka, ingine itabaki hapa Chuka, alafu ile iko njiani ikikuja tutaweka moja county headquarter. Ndio sasa tukue Tharaka-Nithi county yote imefanya nini? Iko sawa, iko sawa. Na wewe ukiona hii usifikire mambo ya fire peke yake. Nimekwambia kuna rescue, kuna paramedicine na maneno mengine mingi.
And county governments have been urged to avoid double taxation and other ungazetted stringent measures imposed on foreign traders within the East African region. Cabinet Secretary for East African and Northern Corridor Development Peter Munye says Kenya is losing its regional trade footprint to East African neighbors because of the challenges that hinder free and faster movement of goods. In Kilifi County, a girl who has failed to join Form 1 since the beginning of the year is appealing for financial help to enable her to join a secondary school. Mwana Maua Mlongo scored 343 marks in KCPE 2017. Financial constraints has seen the bright girl miss out on an opportunity to join secondary school. Any assistance can be channeled through M-Pesa to her guardian Rajab Bamwaka on telephone number 0701 332402. 0701 332402. Finally, residents of Majengo Estate in Embu walked to strange scenes of a man stuck naked atop a Safaricom communication mast. Efforts to plead with the man to descend from the mast proved futile. It took the intervention of officers from the Kenya Defence Forces to finally pull the man from the mast before he was rushed to Embu Level 5 Hospital under tight security. For KBC Channel 1, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Well, and that now brings us to a very second break, and of course you can see Daniel Wahome is already in studio. That means it's time now for sports, but of course we'll be taking a break first. Daniel.
Yes, Rose, in the sport this evening, well, Kenya lost to India and it was not in a cricket match, so the details to follow.
All right, we'll be getting all that in the sports segment. But of course, remember, tonight on Family Matters, we are featuring matters to do with the violation of the rights of widows. And of course, remember, it's just a few days to celebration of the International Day of the Widows. And of course, remember, we told you, you can always interact with us. If you have any concerns, if you have any questions pertaining this matter, kindly do leave all that on our social media platforms as well as our SMS line right on your screens. Has enough been done? What more needs to be done? John Jacob Kuria, as well as Grace Nderito, Margaret Nzomo, Joyce Ngugi, and Diana Kamande will be taking us through that topic tonight. We'll take that break first.
So, did we go out last night for a walk in the mud?
Your driver let me in, Renato. I need us to talk.
It's not a good time, Javier. Leave me alone. Didn't you hear me? Leave me alone.
At your service, ma'am.
I'm not going to talk in front of her.
Karen?
evening. I am Daniel Mohammed. Time to get the sports. First of all, the national football team, the Harambee Stars, finished second at the Hero Intercontinental Cup after a 2-0 loss to host India in the tournament final played at the Mumbai Football Arena. India's goals were scored by their captain Sunil Chhetri, and this was Kenya's second loss to India after a 3-0 loss in the round-robin phase of the tournament that also featured New Zealand and Chinese Taipei. We move on to a winning football team where Kenyan Premier League champions Gor Mahia today secured a second chance to play Everton FC in a friendly match after beating Tanzania Simba Sports Club by 2-0 in the final of the SportPesa Super Cup at the Afraha Stadium in Nakuru. Kogalo also pocketed a cash prize of 3 million shillings that came with the title.
Having played Everton last year in Tanzania and then Hull City last month in Kenya, Gor Mahia will once again face Everton in another friendly match, this time at Goodison Park in England. Gor Mahia defeated Simba of Tanzania 2-0 in the final of the SportPesa Super Cup, securing a ticket to England to play the Premier League side. Gor Mahia's intentions were made clear as early as the 5th minute when Medi Kagere put them ahead at the Afraha Stadium in Nakuru.
Moja kwa moja,
The title was sealed by Jackie Twisenge's goal 10 minutes into the second half.